Siddharth, do continue to stay on with us. Let me, in fact, bring in my colleague Siddharth Sibal, who's been waiting very patiently for us. Siddharth, you're joining us from New Delhi. This is a crucial, sort of a battlefield for the BJP and the Congress, where they're in a direct contest with each other. Aam Aadmi Party, of course, is a very big factor here. But the BJP won 7 seats, 7 out of 7 last time round. Can they this time retain the 7 seats that they had won in 2019?
Well, yes, Mohammed, they will be hopeful to get 7 out of 7 when it comes to New Delhi. But, of course, it's a three-way contest with, of course, the AAP party also here as an additional element because usually we have seen how it has been just the BJP and the Congress, which is largely seen. But I'm standing here at the BJP headquarters where, of course, since morning there have been a lot of commotion and, of course, a kind of way towards celebration as well. We saw the visuals earlier this morning. Let my camera person show you what's happening on the ground, and there you see a lot of presence of the media. And it's just not the national media which is present here, it's also the international media which has descended with full force here. But essentially we know that the first numbers have started to come in, and by 3 p.m. it will be quite clear that who is taking the lead and who will be the next Prime Minister of India. This is an election that lasted for 2 months, and this was a mammoth exercise, something the Election Commission pointed out yesterday in its press conference.
Absolutely, indeed, Siddharth Sibal. Now, Shivan, this is very crucial, right? I mean, there are several swing states where the Bharatiya Janata Party last time had maxed out. They managed to win, nearly 90+% of the seats, and it is here that the Congress, of course, is trying to make inroads. One of the states is Karnataka. Last time they managed to win 25 out of the 28 seats. And this time it will be very interesting to see as to how the Congress manages to claw back.
It's definitely, Karnataka is one state that everyone is eyeing. And of course, Mr. Upadhyay here, who's joining us, who is in the studio with us, is from Karnataka. So you understand the region better. You're from the region. Talk to us about the BJP's prospects this time.
Last time they won 25, as you said, and plus one independent supported by BJP, which means 26 out of 28.
Yes.
It was highest in the history of Karnataka for BJP. But then after this, there was an election, assembly elections last year, and the Congress came back to power with a massive majority. And since then, they've been working really hard to win the Lok Sabha elections. What they did before the assembly elections was to offer 5 guarantees across the people, and it did help them in the assembly elections. Congress was perhaps hoping that these guarantees will work again in the Lok Sabha elections. So, they went out of the way. They've cleaned up the coffers. In fact, it cost them 60,000 crores. And in the last 1 year, we have not seen any kind of development happen in Karnataka because all the money was going towards these, the welfare schemes. So they were hoping for 15 to 20 seats.
Mr. Upadhyay, just to interject there, if you're doing welfare in a state, is that not development? You're essentially putting money into the pockets of your citizens. That's Keynesian economics. If you put more money into the hands of the voters, then that's how they spend money, with which they start off this cycle of spending, which benefits the economy.
Well, maybe to a certain extent, but then, it doesn't create any assets. See, you need to create assets if the economy has to really grow. Otherwise, it's just spending money. Or look at the free bus ride. And women were given free. A lot of women were just going for pilgrimage. So if you're giving it to employees, you're giving it to the laborers, I can understand because they need it. Right. And you are giving it to people who just want to take a ride. So is that welfareism? I don't know. So
let me actually take that to Swati Chandrasekhar. She's still with us. Swati, this is something that is going to be asked about the India alliance over and over again. You are battling against a prime minister who's been in power for the last 10 years. Ideally, he should be facing a lot of anti-incumbency. But the Congress, through its campaign that it ran, seems not to have put enough pressure on the Bharatiya Janata Party. What is your reading on that?
No, how do you claim that we could not put enough pressure on BJP? If you see the Prime Minister campaign, especially after the first phase, he started talking anything and everything that is possible on this earth. He started talking about Mangal Sutra, he started talking about minority votes, especially he started talking about Ghuspeidiyas, he started talking about Muslim population in this country. He wanted to somehow consolidate, the so-called Hindu voters, and if they were not scared, if they were not, if they thought that India Alliance is not stopping them, if they thought that Congress is not a clear parallel to them,
right.
I don't think that these words would have come. He would have merely gone on what he has done in the last 10 years very clearly. So I think media should start asking, the former Prime Minister, I believe, but from tomorrow is not going to be the Prime Minister of this country. So you have to actually go and ask that why was the campaign of BJP derailed, especially after the second phase? Where did the charisma, where did the confidence went away? They even stopped talking about Ram Mandir. Initially, their campaign was about Ram Mandir. We constructed Ram Mandir. Of course, we all respect Ram Mandir, but that cannot be the election issue. And you started talking about Mangal Sutra. We kept on asking.
That's a crucial point that you've raised, Swati. This is true. This is true. You brought up the issue of Ram Mandir. And Shirin, this is something that all political analysts were saying. Once the Pran Pratishtha of Ram Mandir happened in the month of January, people thought that the match is over, the game is over, and it is the Bharatiya Janata Party that will just steamroll the 2024 elections. But Ram Mandir as an issue did not resonate with the public in 2024.
Exactly, it did not resonate, and it wasn't taken up in most of the rallies as well. Most of the time they've spoken, of course, about what the India bloc has not been able to achieve, the divides within the India bloc, but also they spoke a lot about the economy, which has been on the tip of the tongues for a lot of people.
I think Ram Mandir issue would have been an undercurrent which would have played in this elections.
But the BJP even did not harp upon it.
There was no need to harp on it again and again. Once you've done it.
Why do you think there was no need to harp on it? Because they thought people will not vote for them, because once the Mandir was constructed, it was done and dusted. So the BJP perhaps felt that, listen, there's nothing more emotive that we can do. We've built the Mandir, people are going there, and then it becomes another Mandir amongst the thousands of Mandirs that we have in the country.
No, I think they did a wise thing, because it becomes redundant if you're going to talk about it again and again. People were happy, I mean, more or less across the board, people were happy. Even Muslims came out and said that they were happy. So that being the case, there was no need to repeat that. They wanted to go back to other issues which confront the nation. I think that's the reason why Ram Mandir did not become a poll campaign, but I'm sure it is very much undercurrent which was there.
So at this moment, Shiv, this is the number that we are looking at, 307 for the NDA alliance. The India Alliance is getting about 145. That appears to be the number. But let's bear in mind that these are still very early leads and
these
trends.
Are early trends.
These are not final numbers.
Yeah, of course, these are not the finals.
But it's
results.
A trend.
Those are going to be coming in a couple of hours. Yeah, you think we'll get to know the result by about noon today?
By sometime 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There's still a lot of counting that needs to be done, because this is just the initial phase of the counting of votes. And also what needs to be pointed out to the viewers is, these are trends that can actually change dramatically. That still can happen.
So exit polls are predictions, and these trends can change. Nothing is certain as of now, so we have to give it to the opposition if they are still hoping for a win. We have to wait for the final result to actually announce anything.
No, absolutely. But then look at the difference. 300 something and 100 something. So that shows something. You see, if there is a close election, then the numbers will also be close.
Mr. Upadhyay, this is something that a lot of political pundits simply could not or did not predict. At the time that the voting was happening, till the 7th phase of the voting, everyone thought that this could be a close election. This could be an election that is being fought on issues. No one came out, stuck their neck out and said that this is going to be a tsunami sort of a win for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. If these numbers stand at this moment, then this is not just a Modi wave. This is a Modi tsunami that we're looking at.
If you have to believe exit polls and the trends, then that's what it seems like.
A lot of analysts said there is no wave in this election. There's no wave. But if we look at the trends, I mean, it shows that there has been some kind of a wave in favor of BJP, in favor of the Prime Minister. Otherwise, these kind of numbers will not come just like that. And especially the fact that they're making inroads into places where they were absent, absent for so many years. And if they're making a entry there, it clearly shows that the BJP has made impact across the country. And earlier they were known as the North Indian Party, where they were confined to Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, the Hindi belt, the so-called Hindi belt. But if they are making, as for the exit poll results, if they're making entry into the south, especially Tamil Nadu and Kerala, I think is a huge impact that will have on the national scene.
Mr. Padhya, of course, you're here with us in the studio. I'd like to now just cut across to our correspondent, Idris Sloan, who's joining us from Srinagar. Of course, Idris, there are a lot of trends which are coming in from Udhampur, from Anantnag, Rajouri. Of course, talk to us about what you're picking up from the ground regarding the Baramulla seat to begin with and come to the other ones as well.
Well, absolutely, Shivam. The leads that we are getting at the moment is that Umar Abdullah is leading from the Baramulla constituency, but he's having a tough competition with Sajjad Lone. We did see that when the counting started, Sajjad Lone was actually way ahead of Umar Abdullah at that point of time, but now the new trends have just come in and showing Umar Abdullah is leading. While as if we talk about another former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti, who's fighting from the Anantnag constituency, she's trailing there with the National Conference candidate Mia Altaf, who's leading at the moment. If we talk about the Jammu region, Jammu has two seats. The one Udhampur seat where Dr. Jitendra Singh is also fighting. He's right now trailing, and Lal Singh, who's the India Alliance candidate in Udhampur, is leading in that seat as well. If we talk about another seat, which is the Jammu seat, there we are being told that Jugal Kishore, who's the BJP candidate, is leading at the moment. So the trends are showing a little bit of difference with the exit polls that we have seen, but it's too early to predict, because by 10 o'clock we'll get a clearer picture of who's winning from which seat. But at the moment, the two main candidates from the Kashmir region, that is Umar Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti, Umar leading while as Mehbooba Mufti trailing.
All right. Thanks, Idris, for getting all those updates. We are going to be coming back to you later in the day as well to get another roundup.